Howdy. It's time. We're gonna do more underworld level design today. Last we left off, we had done some. I think we worked on like levels 5 through 8 or something, and made 4 levels each. So that was like, you know, like 16 levels. Maybe it was 4 through 8, so like 20 levels or something. Excuse me. Hello, cheese lover. Welcome to the stream. So I had the last thing I did is I separated Underworld 9 into 2 parts. So this is the graveyard where the ghouls appear when you walk into the treasure room at the back of the graveyard, which is a cool design that Sheridan came up with. I asked about these null sprites because I wondered if by placing them in there, would enemies be prevented from spawning or what? And I didn't really get a clear answer other than to say, don't use them. So I was like, do they prevent enemies from spawning? What do they do? And the answer was, don't use them. So I'm going to go ahead and delete them. There's no reason for us to keep them around if the answer is don't use them. Real fast to just delete them. No problem. And then we're going to move on to making some original puzzles. Yeah, so the way I've separated this is that it demands to be some kind of interaction, which opens these or an interaction with this creates a situation outside the room. So I'm not sure exactly what else I'm going to do with that, but you know, I set this up for myself this way to create a constraint so that I'll have to do something clever here. So I am looking forward to that. Let's go ahead and just save these because right out the gate we've already fixed some problems with them. Get out of here, null sprite. And then we're going to go ahead and make B created by me. And save it as. What is up, Grotesque Mannequin? I'm taking on the task of figuring out interesting ways to make the player's life harder if they go into this treasure room. That's kind of the premise I've set up for myself here. I don't really have an out. My friend bought Barony on Steam so we can play the beta together, and it's amazing. Well, that's fantastic. I'm very excited to hear you say that. Thank you both. I really appreciate it. Got some coffee? Got some coffee. All right. So, entering this treasure room causes something to happen. That is something we take for granted. There's no way around it. There's no ifs, ands, ors, or butses. I'm pretty sure that's how that goes. Actually, real quick, I think I didn't copy the ceiling here properly. I think it probably needs to do... We're going to go open up Underworld A. Did I call that C? What was I thinking? This doesn't need to be C. This needs to be B. And we're going to open A. And I believe I need to make this a ceiling. Not that it's super necessary, it's just that was in the original version and I didn't replicate it. So irresponsible. And then we're gonna put this out here. Okay. Something like that. That looks right. What up, Ink? Welcome to the stream. Haven't really done much so far, just deleted some stuff that didn't need to be in the map and set up kind of the requirements for what I'm going to do next. So the premise of all of these rooms has to be, and there really can't be an exception to this as far as I can tell. The premise has to be that when you go and get this treasure, something happens out here to make your life more complicated. I ruffled up my hair, I did. It's one of the great things I've done. So the question is, what is the different thing that happens? Chaos Waste. Cool, man. I've heard that game's pretty good. Oh no, you're talking about Vermintide. Yes. I like the Chaos Waste. I think there's another Warhammer game, turn-based tactics game that came out called Chaos something. Chaos Hammer or something. Roguelike Vermintide 2. Yeah, I enjoyed that. One of the spike trap rooms in the mines has a lever that opens up a door and activates the spikes. I don't know if that's intended, since most levers only do one thing. It is intended, I guess. So in theory, you can open the one door on the other side and then use the second lever to open and to operate the spikes. It's not a great room, you know, so it's working as intended. I just don't know that it's interesting or fun, so I might replace it. Thanks for mentioning it. Honestly, it helps to have another person's point of view sometimes. Okay, so the first thing that I think of is I could do a you know, like the return path is different than the arrival path. So just for the sake of argument, I could have something like this, where if the player, they could just maze their way around, and then when they touch the trap, then this destroys all these walls and makes it an open room with like enemies inside. It's not super compelling, honestly. I also need to think about teleporter placement. I could do something like gates. Like a gate maze, where on your way in, like it's a straight path on the way in. And then on the way out, then it's reversed. Thanks for making Barony work on Steam Deck. It's really good. Yeah, I really enjoy playing Barony on the Steam Deck. It's a lot of fun. It's just great. There's a couple problems with it right now, but we'll fix them soon. Namely, the cursor problem in the inventory. That's the most annoying one for me. So to put this in the simplest possible terms, just trying to make this puzzle really simple and straightforward. Is it like, yeah, let's actually make this. Sorry, it's like I've got such a small space to work in that it's really difficult to know what's the right call sometimes. In terms of how to put this all together. I'm over here just trying to make a gate maze, and it's like hurting my brain. We don't even need this little section here. Let's get rid of that. Let's put that over here just for reference. So in theory, you get to the... You either teleport into this room and you go get the treasure, and then when you come out, the way you came is blocked. And then the new way out is open. That's the premise I'm working with here. So now we design the path that is the way out. It actually doesn't even need another gate here, but kind of like the feeling that you've taken, you know, multiple paths. What's my favorite career in Vermintide 2? Probably the Unchained. I really like the Unchained. Zealot and Witch Hunter Captain. I really like the Zealot. I use the bill hook, and I noticed that I use a lot of weapons that other players don't really use. Excuse me. Not because I'm like a special snowflake. I just tend to enjoy certain strategies that other people don't even consider, I think. Or maybe they view them as inefficient because maybe they are. That's fine with me. But like the bill hook is so stinking good. You press the Z key when you're fighting like a Chaos Warrior, and then like the Chaos Warrior just stops whatever he's doing and stumbles forward and puts his head like in a very easy to reach spot. It's just so powerful for interrupting. You can grapple a You can grapple like a shield rat's shield so that he can't, you know, block you anymore. You just go bill hook and then hit him with in the head and he's just gone. The bill hook is so stinking good on the on Salt Spire. Just really good. So if you haven't earned the bill hook yet, I would recommend it. I believe you get the bill hook from doing the... What is it? It's the Beastman level with the meteorite fragment. I think it's called Wind... Is it Winds of Change? Might be Winds of Change, something like that. So every character has a special weapon that they earn for doing that level. And it does require a DLC, but if you know somebody that owns it, you don't have to have it yourself, so it's not a big deal. This isn't the world's greatest puzzle, but let's go to the beginning. So you'd appear here or come through this door. The left would be locked. This way is open. You go in here, you get your treasure, you come out and find that the way you came is blocked. This way is open. There's some kind of situation in here. Open the gate, another kind of situation in here. Open the gate, and there's another kind of situation in here. And then you're back to the teleporter or out the front exit. I think it's a reasonable level design. Let's get rid of this floor. I think I want to put in some lava right here. I could put like some skeleton archers here. Maybe with fire ammo. Let's make it a quantity of fire ammo. 8. We'll disable mini boss. little squad of skeletons that are gonna kill you. Stuck between chairs. So that they don't go anywhere. And so as soon as you enter the room, they're just shooting at you, I guess is the idea. Here, I can have just like any mob. Maybe here. And I kind of want to put spike traps in this room. Get back here. There's spike traps that you have to bait to get past. If you pull this lever while you're standing on a spike trap, it might be bad for you. And you go in here and there's a fight, and then you got your exit. Something like that. I'm not like super proud of this level, but it's like it does the job of being 2 different paths. And so going and claiming the treasure creates like this new problem for you. Which I think is cool. It's something. Gosh, I hate this song. I need to delete it. Explore to items folder. No, I got plenty of sleep. Thanks, Ink. How do people in the Discord get a title? You just go to the bot spam channel and type, like, I think it's roll, and then you just pick which role you want. And any of the normal, like, monster race roles are roles that you can select. What's the most annoying Barony mob? I would have to say the Incubus. And I say that not because, you know, because he's the hardest. I say it because he's the most annoying. So, like, he's actually not that powerful. Like, he doesn't do that much damage. He's just freaking annoying. He teleports in and out. He pesters you. He's got just enough health to not die when you hit him. The first couple times, and so he wears out his welcome. Just being himself. You know, there's plenty of other mobs who are more dangerous, and it'd be easy to say, you know, the imp is the most annoying because he can shoot you from afar and then he can kill you very quickly. But like, he's just strong. It's just a strong enemy, so I wouldn't even call that annoying as much as just like dangerous. But the Incubus, it's like he's not even that strong. He just pesters you. He's just annoying. So he gets that gets my vote. Okay, so this is a little bit simpler, kind of the same idea. But, I've created like a little prison. I suppose we can put, why don't we put this here? We want it facing east. We can make this a place you bust out of when you teleport. So this level will only operate this gate, but the pressure plate will operate this gate and the other cells. So I'm gonna be careful not to ruin that setup as I train these wires. I don't know. I mean, that this is particularly compelling. Like, I'm hesitant just to put random enemies in here. One of them could be a shadow and it'll just teleport out and there'll be nothing in there. I'm hesitant to put ghouls in here because even ghouls would, would be more appropriate to come out of graves, you know? So if they're prisons, it's just like, well, what kind of prison? What kind of monster is in the prison? It could be skeleton, but if it's an underworld skeleton, then I want it to be, you know, have something special about it. Yeah, I don't really want it to be a bunch of imps. That's just too scary. It's a little too soon for vampires. At least reliably. I could put humans in there, but then they're just allies, so that's not really a punishment. Or, not, punishment's the wrong word, but it's not really like a problem for the player. Could be gnomes. I mean, that would be funny. I mean, could just have them be summons. But even then, a summon's not a great plan. Because it's not consistent. Like, why would... If the player's, like, using open to go and explore these beforehand, I don't want suddenly summons to, like, pop out. It's just not fair. I want to do, like... an appropriately leveled skeleton, you know? But I don't think that's how this works. I know, I feel like I'm really belaboring this, but like... I'm just hesitant. put a sink here. Prisons need a sink. Alright, well let's put a human in here and make him level. You're either gonna see this at level 5 and 6, or level 6 and 7, or level like 20 something. I don't know, dude. 5, so we'll just call that 55 to 75. We'll make this 4 to 6, 8 to 12, or 2, 4, 6, 1, 5, and 1, 2, 4. All right, we got some prisoner humans here and here, and we'll put some. We'll put one random mob here, and then we'll do like. Just make him a freaking regular skeleton. Whatever. Any way to consistently get parachute? If you use the red orb on the shopkeeper, do you get it? I don't remember. The mysterious shopkeeper. Crystal weapons, so no. Yeah. And I guess not. I just realized that I put this, I'm pretty sure I put this sink right in the way of this gap. Let me check. So this is where we are. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't think I like the sink blocking that. I'll put it here instead. I want the player to be able to levitate around this direction if they want to. Alright, let's move on to map D. I feel like I'd kind of like to make something a little bit voidy, something that's got a lot of suspension. Out of all the boss enemies in Vermintide 2, which one is the hardest in your opinion? The Chaos Spawn. It's so fast, it can regenerate a ton of its health if it eats one of your fellow players, and it can pick you up and immobilize you for a very long time, and so it just makes for a very annoying and rude boss monster. Like, without question, the Chaos Spawn. Like, if you've got a good beat on it, I think you can take down its health really fast. That's probably, like, its one weakness. But it's so stinking fast, and it's so good at disrupting a defensive line that, if you don't beat it right away, you're in for some trouble. Like, if you're not set to beat him right away, you're gonna have a bad day. Door. I don't need that there. In fact, I don't need that anywhere. Open up A, B. Okay, that one has to be closed. But C, I don't even need this. Door, wall. Open space. Oh, okay. This is actually the best place for this thing. The magic place with the magic orb in the spear has a set place, but can't think of a way to get the parachute other than fun ones. Yeah, I think that's true. I think the Minotaur is the hardest, but it shows up only in Chaos Waste. I suppose the Stormfield is the hardest. Storm Fiend. The Minotaur is pretty hard. I think he's hard for similar reasons as the Chaos Spawn, but he can't heal himself the way the Chaos Spawn can. But the Minotaur is a lot faster in Vermintide than the Chaos Spawn, so that's something for sure. Okay, so I kind of have it set up here. In that, when you arrive here via the portal, I can have, like, gates here and here that are closed. And then once you grab the treasure, then the gates are open. But, like, why is that like something risky? Why does that matter? I mean, I could put, like, magic trap right here, which would be a little bit out of character for the Underworld. Underworld doesn't currently have any magic traps. I mean, I could tease the player with a boxed-in location with treasure on the other side that you have no way to get. Which is like, it's just another reward, but it's like, why is it gated? Why can you not see that treasure until you go and get the other treasure? Like, why is that a problem? It's not really a thing. I'm thinking about just getting rid of all these gaps and then just making it another graveyard. You know, that's a theme for the Underworld, is that you do things and then ghouls pop up. Like, it doesn't have to be anything more than that. Which, as I believe Ink said yesterday, free XP. But if you come out of this room and, you know, 6 ghouls spot you from all directions at once, that's like, you know, that's kind of a challenge. You're surrounded. I suppose I don't feel too bad about this one. Let's call this one good. You go get the treasure, you have to fight 6 ghouls in an open space. And then, last but not least, E. Okay, I'm gonna do another like A path, B path situation because I think it's cool. And I can do it in a way that feels different enough that it's not like repetitive, I'm hoping. I kind of want to put a bunch of spiders in here, but like, spiders aren't really... They're just not really an underworld enemy, you know? So like, the next thing I'm tempted to do is just be like... just like a bunch of freaking skeletons. Just like, so many skeletons. Like... There isn't really a good reason for it. They make sense here. You don't get to fight a ton of easy enemies that often. You know? Like, maybe just a bunch of skeletons. They're only level 1. Well, that's not a skeleton. That's a random mob. We can't do that. The player will die to that. Let's actually make it a bunch of skeletons. Bunch of level 2 skeletons. Just corralled in this room for some reason. So what happens, you go get the treasure, you find that the way back to the portal is closed, so you have to fight through 8 skeletons. I mean, Guess it's fine. We'll see. We'll see how fine it is. I kind of want to get rid of this light. Just make it very dark in here. Skeleton danger room. You could put a pillar in the middle here, there, too, so that there's, like, something to fight around. I could try making, like, a bone floor. It might look ridiculous, but... Nah, that doesn't sell. I mean, it's cool and unique, but, like, no. No! Put a little bridge out here, little platform, so that if it happens to butt up against another island, you can get in there. And if you do it that way, you kill the skeletons first, then enter the portal room, and then you can go back to the treasure room. I think that's fine. There's no harm in that, I don't think. Or you could escape out this way if you arrived via the portal. You wouldn't have to go to the portal if you didn't want to. Seems fine. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna go back and make sure. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, this one's not correct. I need to give this one a tall ceiling. Boom. Okay. Let's go ahead and give this one the, because the default one is doing this, let's just do it for all of them. Give it different ceilings. Okay. Alright, I think that is a fair selection here. And now we're going to open up Underworld 10. Okay, this is the big grave room. This is like an irresponsible amount of ghouls. I've fought in here before, and look, I'm not mad. I guess, like, it doesn't... Like, it's okay to have a challenge that's too hard sometimes, but this level shows up quite a lot, and that is, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 34 ghouls. It's just like a ridiculous amount of ghouls. And so I think what I'm going to do... Oh, something else I was going to check. Hold on. I need to make sure these are pointed the right way. Okay, this is pointed south. That's correct. D. Is this pointed east? It is. Is this pointed east? It is. And B. This can point south, probably. No, that should not be east. South. Okay. Save. And then A doesn't have one. Which is okay, because I don't think there's enough. There is potentially enough room for an exit to spawn here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and rectify that. I think I'm gonna add a portal to this, so it shouldn't be too disruptive to this level design. I'll just add it right here. Yeah, we need a portal here. I don't want the exit ever to generate here and the player not to be able to get to it. So It has to have a portal. Although what this does mean is that the player has kind of like an easy out if they get the treasure and the ghouls wake up. So I need to create like a mechanism that like the player has to make it down here to like reopen this door. Something like this. I'm gonna think on this. I need a quick break, so I'm gonna be right back, and I'll stew on how to make it so that the player can't bypass this whole situation just by I had an idea. I could actually close this off, and so the player has to walk through here. So in theory, the player has to walk through the first two graves before they can get to the exit. Let's walk through it real quick. Okay, so you appear here outside the graveyard. You're sort of ushered through, and then you appear in the graveyard. Maybe you'll open this door, find it's a dead end or whatever. You go in here and get your treasure. Not super sold on it. And the other thing I could do is I could have it go around the outside like this and delete these outside tiles instead, and so the player has to go through the entire graveyard in order to escape, which is sort of true to the intent of this room, the way that it was originally designed, I believe. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so you appear here, you find yourself exposed to the void, and then you have to walk through the graveyard, and then once you get it, then you have to walk back through to get back to the portal. It's not bad. Decide if I want to expose the player out here. what I've created here. Definitely like a long walk with nothing going on. I could, you know, create a little alcove here. Just to like, I don't know, add a little variety. And you can open this from the outside, but if you didn't come from the teleporter, then the only way to open it would be to trigger the trap, and then that opens your escape, which I think is cool too. You know, it's quite a bit different than the original, but it's like the core design of it is the same. It just takes some unused space and turns it into used space. So I don't think it's I don't think it's a problem. Like, not that anybody's gonna give me any flack for it. I'm just trying to like make sure I don't lose a room design in my effort to you know, improve this. Okay. Variant A. We're gonna call this south. Okay. Save. All right. I'll be right back. In just a minute. I'm gonna take that break I promised you. Alright, I'm back. Now we have to deal with this problem. I feel like I basically have to redesign this map to an extent because, like, now that more players are going to be in the underworld, I just feel like a map design like this isn't, like, I wouldn't stand behind it, you know what I mean? So I think I'm going to fix it up first and then create the variant based on that. Because, like, 34 zombies, it's just not, it's too small of a space for that fight to feel good. You know, I've done it. I've done this fight myself. And there's definitely something engaging about, like, you know, having to manage a horde of zombies. But, like, 34 of them is, like, there's so many of them you can't walk. You can't maneuver. And it's, like... So that means that your gameplay choices either leave with levitation or teleport, or stand there and then just, like, just click the attack button until they're all dead. Which is not terribly engaging. Like, if you're overpowered that you can do that, then it's not even fun then. I mean, it's you're going to be happy you got all the XP, but, like, other than that, it's like, what are we doing here? So, I think having, like, 3 groups of 6 is probably reasonable. Make this area where the teleporter is, like, have some clear pathways so that there is deliberate space to maneuver. I'm gonna get rid of the wires for now because it's, like, making it harder to read. And I'm worried that I'll mess more up. If the wires are already in place. 12, 18. So I've reduced the count to 22, which is 12 fewer zombies. It's still a hell of a lot of zombies. One of the things I'm running into is that I need to think about how I turn this into a map that can have some variety to it rather than just a one-off like this. I mean, I could just replace the entire interior and then do whatever I want with it. That's probably what I should do. Alright, let's wander around this a bit. Does it still feel like, you know... Okay. I still feel like it actually feels a little bit more like a real graveyard to me. Just because there's a little bit of space, you know? Get rid of this second fire pit. Something like that. And I think I will do a total interior change. I mean, a room like this with gates on all sides is like its own sort of valid construction. Okay, this is surrounded on all sides by pit. I'll go ahead and put a platform out front like I did before so that it has the potential to link up with some other island. This is 1180 facing south, minus 56 height. Okay. So that's just a single little bridge. Okay, but we need 1, 2, 4 smaller in every direction. So 13 by 13. That looks like the right size, as we would expect it to be. Sorry about that. My daughter just got home from school. I wanted to say hi. Okay, so I think I've recreated this successfully. This is called Underworld Mass Graves. And it is Underworld 10, so we're going to call this Underworld 10A. And you know, I've changed quite a bit about this, right? So you can teleport into this place now, and you'll be right at the center of it. And I've cleared out a lot of graves around it. I put one wall here so that there's something to dance around. I mean, you can dance around the graves, but they don't serve as vision blockers. So, you know, having a wall in here I think is good. Something to tease the horde around. I've removed quite a few of the campfires. One of the reasons for that is that these two torches are going to provide a lot of light, and this one campfire is going to provide a lot of light, and this is going to provide some light. And so really over here is going to be the only place you can sneak if you want to be a stealth class. I think I'm happy to call this, you know, a good revision. So the inside here is going to be replaced. So, the one thing that will always be the same about this room is that it's going to have all these gates on the outside, and we'll have an entrance in the front with a bridge. So, variant A is now the original mass graves, and now I can do whatever I want to with the rest. What Vermintide 2 weapons would be implemented into Barony if you had the chance? To be honest, like, I don't think we're really in, you know, like, it's such a different game. It's like the difference between a Call of Duty shotgun and the Doom shotgun. You know, it's like, just because they're both shotguns doesn't mean they have anything else in common. And so what I mean by that is, you know, there's like a lot of cool weapons stylistically in other games, but, you know, in Vermintide specifically. The way I would like to think about it more is that, like, what different play styles would be cool to add to Barony. And other games have done play styles like that. So, like, one of the things I like about the flail in Vermintide is that you hold down your power attack until you want to let it go. And then, so there's nothing that forces you to finish the attack. You just get to release your power attack when you're ready. And so I think that's a cool idea. I think large, slower weapons in general. So Barony has like one attack speed except for ranged weapons and the whip, right? So I think it would be cool if there was other weapons with different attack speed values. Like, that would be cool. And like, you'd have to take for granted that one of the things that you would be losing is that the block attack rhythm is dependent on those attack speeds being the same. And so you would need some other kind of mechanic to kind of make up for it. And so that to me is interesting to think about. You know, how would the game change if you had a weapon with a different attack speed? And how would it not be just like dominating? How, like, would it be, it would have to be like a good trade-off. I think I just want a room that has like an interesting shape to it. Like, I'm not trying to do any interesting, like I'd like interesting gameplay to spawn here, but not necessarily have it be planned. Like just a big ominous open room I think is fun. And it would need bridges, obviously. So like, something like that. I could do like a ring of floor around that. It's probably not gonna look cool though. It's kind of fun. Just bridges, bridges, and more bridges. Jeff Bridges. Let's put a few pillars here and there, like here and here, and here and here, and maybe here and here. Yeah, this is a fun room. I like it. Alright, now I just need to add the sprites. And then I believe this is 8, 1, and 12 for a center piece. Okay. Fun. Yeah, just like an empty room with big enough islands on it that, you know, quite a few different enemies or other kinds of objects could spawn. It's good to have spaces like that. especially in a place like the underworld that doesn't have save as beat, that doesn't have like any floors for things to spawn on. I need to call this variant A. I should probably put some light sources in here now that I think about it. So like maybe one right here and one right here. Let's put this one on the inside here so that the bridges are lit up a little bit. I like the lighting moody in Barony. Put too many lights in a room, it's all just the same shade. Not as interesting to look at. All right. Next room. I think I'll make a bunch of hallways that interconnect using the cell doors. We'll see how that goes. I'm gonna make some markers here on where my gates are, because I don't really think that players are going to like. I don't think it's that useful to have these gates be the basis for how you get around, but they are relevant if you have the open spell and levitation. So I'm going to design a room that just keeps that in mind, I guess. I was designing more of like a general cell structure where the portal's at the center, and so you go out and you can explore the cells, and I think I will do a room like that, but first I'm going to do something that really tries to make a path that acknowledges the gates. I'm temporarily going to use these walk tiles to indicate where the gates are, because otherwise it's kind of hard to imagine. Okay, so I've got a very weird little maze here. I mean, it's hard to call it a maze because you can, I deliberately made it so you could get around easily. Like, you could get from location to location without a lot of struggle. But there isn't a lot of sort of, like, logic to the path. Because really the point was so that if you came in or left through one of those gates, there would be like an interesting path through to another one of the gates. I just wanted to create like an interesting intersection of paths, which is what this room is. And of course at the center we have the teleport shrine. I guess I should put some lights in here. Let's put one here. Let's put one here. I'm gonna put one down here. And one more, oops, right here. So generally speaking, it won't be pitch black, but there will be dark areas, which is what I want. Let's go back to B and confirm. Yeah, here we have just a big open room, which is very different. And actually, we'll go from here and make room E. Actually, no, D. We haven't made D yet. Save as D. Now this one, I think I'll do the prison sort of setup that I was thinking before. Where there's much more of a logic to the layout. You know, you have the west wing and the east wing and the south, or in the north wing, and then the, like, you know, you can clear it in a sort of systemic fashion. If that makes sense. Ink asked a question about medical costs in the USA. I don't think there's too much I can comment about that without getting political. So, I think what I'm comfortable saying on stream that isn't very controversial is that we're both paying extremely high taxes for our medical care in the USA, while also generally not getting any benefit from it. And so we pay for our procedures one at a time, as though it's not covered by a health insurance or a government plan. But then we're also taxed for it. And so, like, you know, the pharmaceutical and medical industry has done a good job of making sure everything costs as much as possible, both by the taxman and by the for-profit motive. So, I will happily blame our ills on that. A lot of people, I think, you know, if I offend you, sorry, but also, you know, whatever. A lot of people's argument is like, oh, we're just not willing to pay taxes to help people. We only pay for things like war and giving tax breaks to the rich. But if you look at medical spending in our national budget, we actually spend way more on that than we do on war in the USA. And which is, if you think about it, that's saying a lot because we spend a ton on our military. I think most people would know we spend like more than any other country and with other countries combined. And so remember that when I say we spend more on our medical care in taxes than we do on war. Yes, that means we're paying a lot for medical care. And but we just don't get any benefit from it. It like lines the pockets of insurance companies, and then we pay through the nose when we actually need something. So we have what I would call a crony medical system where the government is used to milk us. I said I wasn't going to get that political, but here I am. This is a pet subject for me that really bothers me. You know, the government is milking us for all it's worth in terms of what the money they can get out of us for medical, and then also the health companies are doing the same thing at the same time. And so there's just no relief. Simple as that. It's my 2 cents on the matter. No, I'm not triggered. It's just like, I guess if there's one thing that triggers me is people that talk about it like it's really simple. Like there's a certain, like, you know, political faction that's to be blamed for all of the whole problem. And people will say things like, well, the real problem is that you shouldn't do medical care with a profit motive. And it's like, maybe that's part of the problem, but if you think that's all there is to the problem, I don't think you know the whole story. So that's kind of like why I'm motivated to go off on a tangent about it, is because I often think people don't have the whole story about what the problem is. It's that they sell it as much simpler than it is. So. I'd kind of like to have levers at the end of each one of these hallways that that opens up 2 cells each, something like this. But then, like, how I split up the cells is a little bit ambiguous. I'm gonna get rid of all this stuff because it's just confusing my ability to lay this out. This is like a perfect cross-section of everything. And so I could do... In theory, I could do 2x2s the whole way through by through. 3 by 3. I'm just being a goose. But then that means, like, the ones in the center don't really make any sense. So I could hollow out the spot in the center, make it more like this. Move this to more of an actual central location. It's not quite good enough. Make it 4 big rooms, and you can open one door of it at a time. One door of each room at a time. Yeah, it doesn't feel so much like a prison, but it does feel like a real layout. Let's just roll with that. Okay. I don't know that there's any value to these little diagonal spots. I mean, it's kind of uncommon. I don't know. Maybe if we just make it look cool, that's good enough. Let's get some pillars in here. Yeah, that looks better. That's more, makes it feel more like a real space. It's funny, yeah, the walls kind of ended up being like a star shape. That's cool. Okay, let's put like a sink in these corners. Actually, yeah, sink's good enough. I was gonna say let's make one of them a fountain. Or I could make both of them chests. I could put a sink here. Call that good enough. That was D. Alright, real quick, I'm going to check the other variants to make sure I don't have any doors on the edge. I do not. No doors. No doors. Okay. Alright, one more. So, I think maybe the right thing to do would be to make a mini dungeon. Like, these are just open rooms, but there's no, like, sequence to them. So for the fifth one, letter E. Number E. We'll make, like, an actual progression of rooms. Gonna sleep now. All right, cool. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you on the flip side. Cheers. Okay. So I've put 3 monsters in here. I guess I could afford one more. I don't have any other kind of like puzzle in this section. I mean, like I could make one of these rooms like a lava fall or a pit or something, so that you have to fly to get through it or something. I'm kind of inclined to leave it as it is, just because I think it'll have more variety if things are allowed to spawn in there without me crowding it. But the idea is obviously that you would, you know, either enter through the south door or through the portal and then just go clockwise through and end up back at the start. And you know, if you manage to bust in via one of the external gates, then you could continue to follow it clockwise or even counterclockwise and still be fine. So the important thing is you can't go counterclockwise from the beginning. Yeah. I think I'd like to do like one more of this variant. Let's open up B again because it's got like the least amount of stuff in it. Actually, with all these decorations, maybe it doesn't. I want to do one where the gates are open, and I can do that by like putting a rock on a pressure plate. It's a silly hack, but I've used it in the swamps and it worked, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. So I think I'd kind of like to put like a big pit in the middle. And then I have wires going all around the outside. Let's have it go through the middle, so there's less likelihood it'll interact with something on the... Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna do my best to make sure it doesn't interact with anything. Actually, it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter. There's already a buffer of one space. So, why don't we make this like a fountain waterfall room? That sounds nice. Doesn't that sound nice? Something like this. And then we'll put... fountain right here. Let's put some sludge on the edges of the waterfall. Put our teleport right here. I don't want end portal, I want teleport shrine. We're gonna have this face south. Well, let's have it face north. It'll be looking at the fountain. And maybe we have have a couple bone pillars, like right here, and right here, and right here, and right here. Let's go ahead and make those slimy on the bottom. We'll put some lights here and here. Let's put some lights on the other side. Keep clicking palette instead of sprite. Okay. And then just somewhere in the room, we're gonna have like a rock on a pressure plate that's gonna just automatically set all of these things off, which is just peachy. Alright, we're gonna get a rack. Okay. A decrepit, unblessed, unidentified rock. So it's just gonna look like a random freaking rock. Nobody's gonna care about this stupid rock. It's just a rock. And then we'll put a permanent pressure plate here and then just do this. So all this is going to do is that as soon as this level loads in, all of those gates on the outside are just going to open by themselves. And that's what they should do. So it's a nice big open room that you can discover by any of the ways that it can be discovered. I guess I need to make a bridge out to the... Oh, south. Negative 56. East. West. I should probably start thinking of some trap rooms for this tile set. Like where you have to deal with boulders. Because there's like no mechanical rooms in here yet, like that have just like a machine in it. F. Wow, that was close. Okay, there's E, there's D, there's C, there's E. So B and F have some things in common, but with the gates being open, I think it'll feel quite different. Okay. Alright, that's good on this room for now. This room took us some time. I'm actually going to go through these one more time to make sure I don't have any incorrect tile types. Yeah, those are the correct types. Okay. So, next level. You know, we've been doing 10 for the last 2.5 hours. We've done 5. Well, we reworked the first map, so we've effectively done 6 maps. Honestly, I'm kind of used to getting like 20 maps done per stream, but because this level has been really big, I feel like I've taken a lot longer on that, and I feel kind of bad about it, but I don't know what else to say about that. Okay, we have like a really organic shaped island here, with like all these exterior walls on it, and one opening on the south side. So I could keep this one pretty simple and just replace from here to here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 8 by 8. So it'll always be like this shape where the bottom of the island is the place where you enter, but maybe the graveyard has something else in it. So let's start by saying enclosed graveyard, and it's 8 by 8. Create. And we'll call it Underworld 11A. Save. We're gonna open up Underworld 11. I'm gonna go ahead and do this copy because it's very specific and I don't want to mess with it. And this is what the floor looks like. I believe this is open and this is, yeah, typical ceiling. All right. So now we just gotta. So the funny thing about this space is that there's no grave trap. So these are just normal graves. And I've captured 6 of them here. One of the variants could have a treasure chest that raises, 6 of the ghouls. This seventh, or this southernmost ghoul is going to be beyond my reach to raise, and that's fine. But I think I've just finished the variant. Oh wait, I gotta do that. No, I don't. Okay, so we're just doing here to here. Oh, I do have to do that one on the right wall. That torch. Torch goes right. Now. Okay, the other thing I have to do is, well, obviously delete these. But also, I do think that this island needs a teleporter. And I think I'm going to bake it into the original map. I think it's the right thing to do. So there's no reason why it shouldn't just be off the entrance here. So let's make it right here, facing west. Okay. Make it a little bit isolated. Put another pillar here so that it looks, very deliberate. Let's take a look. Okay. So you arrive here, and the only real place to go is inside. And that's what I want. That makes sense to me. Let's add a little sludge here. I'm going to add sludge in general to the outside so the edge of the island feels kind of skeezy. Let's fly around it. I'm really not sure how I came up with this sludge pods. Like what my original idea was for these sludge pods. But I kind of like how they look, so that's what we got. All right, so we got that. We got this. This is still Underworld 11A. Perfect. And then maybe off. I could move these graves. I'd like to trigger these graves, is what I'd like to do. And I'd like to trigger all of them except for the far south one. Oh, 1 second, yeah. Somebody just hit me with a beep. Okay, sorry. Alright. So what I was saying is, like, I could do another treasure trap where if the player claims the treasure, then it's going to wake up all the ghouls. Why don't I just do that, like, right here? I'll put 2 treasure chests. Actually, if I put it right there, then the player can cheese it by going through the gates. So let's do it right here instead. If it's right here, then there's an empty spot behind the gates that you can't get to, which is kind of stupid too. Well, maybe I got an idea. I'm gonna try to like make this feel like a bit of a different space, like an honored space. And so we'll clear this out. We'll put these treasure chests here. And then have this face west. It's funny, there's gates right there, so that's gonna open. Whereas right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. If I put it right here, there will not. I'm gonna go ahead and put some pillars here. I'm going to even put some of these on top. Actually, that's not going to matter. You'll never see those. Let's see the face east. Alright, so we'll do this, 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 this. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I put this right here, that's fine. But I go 6, 7, that means this gate. So in theory, there's like an exploit here where you could like go around the backside of these treasure chests and open them. But if I put one trap right here, then that kind of seals off that exploit. Like the only way you could get to the backside of this chest is if you used open on this gate, and then you wouldn't even have access to this chest. You'd only have this one. So I'm doing a lot of work to make sure the player can't exploit the intent of this trap, but that's fine. Okay, so in the bottom two, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and right there. So this would activate 8 ghouls if you went after this treasure, is the idea. And just taking a look. So this signals well enough, I think, that it's trapped. Maybe we replace these with standard pillars. So we've successfully created a trap. It is a variant in the truest sense, in that it's very much like the original, and then I've just changed some small things about it to add a trap to it. Now let's do something that feels more truly different. I think I'm gonna put like a little gravekeeper's shack or something. Maybe like a little chapel. It would only be 3 graves if I get rid of them all. And they'd be kind of inert graves, and that's okay. So this is going to imply that the main focus of this location is not the fact that it's a graveyard. It's whatever this structure is. So like I can even do like a little like Dampier's house. Okay, I just had the thought that I would like to put in like a little bit of a hell reference here. A little while ago, I put together some textures for like a pentagram rituals circle that was a 3x3, and I would like to put that on the floor here, and then if you get close to it, I would like it to summon a demon. I think that would be really cool, but I would need to find that. Curious where I put it. There it is. I mean, it's a straight up inverted pentagram. It would be the most overt, like, satanic theming that we have in the game if I were to put this in. But we already mentioned in our mature content description that we have occult themes, and so it may not be adding to anything. You know, like, you fight the devil, so like I'm not sure that it's a big deal. I'm opening up the file now so you can see it, and I can export the images, because this is just sort of like a precursor to me also adding a lot more variety to hell, because hell is another tile set that's underserved that I would like to improve at some point soon. Come on. Open up. Open sesame. Okay. So this is what it looks like. I mean, it's exactly what you would expect it to look like, right? And it's 3x3 tiles. What's up? How's it going, dude? Yeah, it's been a little while since you tuned in. What do you think of my pentagram, bro? Alright, I'm going to take this and flatten it and rasterize it. That lost a little bit of clarity when I rasterized it, which is not what I was hoping for. Why would you lose clarity? I mean... Oh, I see. Because those layers were turned off. Or were they? These nothing? Okay, I guess those were nothing. Let's turn all these layers on. Put them in here. Okay, good. Alright, now we should be able to rasterize it without losing quality. There we go. Because all the blends are static. That's... Oh, it's going to take its time. Interesting that I didn't make it perfectly symmetrical. Dude, that still resulted in way lower quality. I wonder what's going on with this and why whenever I rasterize it, it freaks out. Excuse me. Yeah, it's true. I didn't make it perfectly symmetrical. I wanted it to look, you know, like an organically drawn shape. To some extent, at least, as much as I can. It's really odd to me that this isn't flattening properly. It kind of actually makes me want to export it and see what I can, if the exported version also has problems. I don't actually really need the layered file to get this looking correct. I just need a nice flat. No, it's okay. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so this is what I want. I want it here. I'm going to get rid of this stuff. It's not useful. And then I can use this to section it out. Okay, so we're going to call this southwest, southeast. Remember the convo of the Windows snip tool? Yeah, dude. I did think about using that, but it would have caused more headaches because it's I'd need to get it at exactly the right pixel resolution. South, northwest, north, west, center. Okay. So I can do new from clipboard. Hold on a second. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Okay, new from clipboard. And this is the correct size. We're going to call it pentagram southwest. And we'll just repeat this process 8 times. Pentagram southeast. Pentagram northeast. Okay, so I've exported all of the pieces of this facility pentagram. I think I would, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and add them to the folders right now. Let me find my zip. Okay, I need to go back and do images. Images, create new folder, tiles. This is the package that I'm putting together for the rest of the team to update the rest of the builds with the new assets I put together, including maps, but also in art. All right, so we're gonna add this here, and then I'm gonna add them to the folder, and in the tiles folder, actually in images. Okay, so this is the images subdirectory. So we're also going to have the tiles text file, which keeps a list of all of the textures in the game, and I need to update that with these new tiles. So there's like a shortcut to let me. There we go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Boom. And we're just gonna do it top left to bottom right, so it'll be easy to know what to do. Northwest, north, northeast, west, center, east, southwest, south, southeast. Okay, so that should work. Let me check the names and make sure everything is lowercase, because Linux will have a problem if it isn't. Yes, everything is lowercase. Perfect. So now that I've changed the text file, I'm going to go ahead and add that to my images folder here, the updated text file. And I believe what I have to do now is relaunch the editor so that I can use the tiles, because it's not going to do it dynamically. Yeah, they're going to take place right here. So let's go ahead and this is Underworld 11E. Yes, we'll save that. Okay, and open the editor so that it will reload all of its assets. And even the editor has a loading screen. How cool is that? And then we're gonna the first pentagram ever in Barony. You know, if it ends up being controversial or whatever, I can just edit the textures so that they're like some other sort of occultic looking symbol. Underworld 11E. Okay. And this is going to be like, it's going to become a summoning trap. Let's make lava. And then here we go. Let's use like this bad boy on the wall right here. Yeah, that doesn't look great there. Yeah, part of me regrets adding that that line to the top, because it looks like it has to connect to something. So makes me, yeah, I don't think it looks good. So I may eliminate it. I mean, that's not so bad. So let's just put some pillars in the corner. Yeah, and that's like a really hard edge. It just doesn't look right like that. So if it goes into the red wall, I think that's all right. We could put like the bull head on it. And I'm gonna make the sky there actually hell, not the sky, but the ceiling. Make it hell tiles. All right, little shrine to hell in the middle of the underworld. Makes perfect sense to me. Okay. So what we can do here, I'm tempted to like surround this thing with a pit so that monsters are not likely to wander into it. Although imps are gonna do what they want, you know. Imps will wander in here if they feel like it. But I could set something up here so that if anything enters the circle, it summons a demon. That would be really easy to set up, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Yeah, it's really tempting to surround this in lava. That's better, but still, like, the outside edges just look really kind of silly. What if I made these bricks on the floor like this? That's better. Yeah, I think that sells. Alright, so now nothing will enter there unless they can levitate over lava, which imps may. They won't have much of a reason to go in there. So now let's set up the trap to summon a demon summon. So let's get the spawn trap first. And we're gonna have it be 14 is demon. I could do a few varieties of these that could summon an incubus or a succubus or a demon, and just have it be you know, random or something. But because this one is like a really special case, it's really ominous. I'd like to summon the demon because the demon is like a pretty threatening enemy in Barony. And, you know, you may not want to be dealing with it at this moment. Let's go ahead and put so basically So basically, if any of these traps get touched, it'll activate any of the interactables inside here, which is just the demon trap. Now, I could have it summon multiple demons or something, but I think this is fine. Attributes F. Okay. Save as F. Of course, you can't even see my cool, my radical pentagram anymore. Have to do that. Okay. It is 5:30, I think, in what I've been streaming for about 3.5 hours, so now's a good time to call it. I want to thank everyone who showed up. I'm glad we got to end on a moment where I was like adding crazy new assets to the game. I think that's a ton of fun. You know, allowing stuff to happen in the game that you've never seen before is, you know, part of the appeal here. Before I call it, I'm gonna try something real quick. What if? Yeah, just making more of a transition around it. I don't know. It looks kind of goofy to me. I think I'm not going to do that. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things I like to do on these streams, is to make sure that, like, I'm adding stuff to the game that you think is cool, that you've never seen before in the game, and that you're looking forward to playing. So that was a good spot to end. Yeah. We got through a whopping, Underworld 9 and... Or did we already have 9 done? Okay, we did 9, 10, and 11, and we did 5 levels. Yeah, so we got through like 17, 18 levels today, which is not bad. A little better than I had thought at the beginning. Because we really were starting from scratch with this one. I did a lot of work on getting this one in shape. Had to rework even the default one. And then we did 10, which was a big one. And we did F. Yeah, so we did up to 6 here as well. And then 11, we did all 6 as well. So yeah, we got like 17 levels done. Not a bad stream, folks, for 3.5 hours. So I guess that's it. Thanks again for tuning in. And I hope to see you soon with some more level design. Have a good one. Cheers. Bye.